Hi grades 3. Today we are looking at our last lesson online, hopefully. It is lesson 14, and for this you need to open your workbooks to page 115 and page 116. So this is exercise 40, and in your textbooks we need to look at page 83, and we'll be working on task 5. So this one, page 83. So again, it's all division on this page and also in your workbooks. So you should be finishing these before you come back to school on Monday. And I can't wait to see you. So let's get started. And I'm gonna, again, as usual, I'll do one question from here and 2 questions from your workbook. And then you will go ahead and you'll finish the rest of the exercise and your textbook tasks on your own, okay? So let's get started. Let's start off by doing last question. So it's question F. It is 960 divided by 8. Now I hope that you are practicing your 8 times table, because again, all of these exercises, they involve working with 8 times table. Remember, we were working with, before we were working with 7, now we will be dealing with 8 times table. Okay, so let's get started, and I am working on 960 divided by 8. This question is right out of your textbook, okay? I'm looking at task 5, question F, okay? So let's get started. So 960 divided by 8, right? So then we ask ourselves, is 9 big enough for me to divide by 8? Yes, it is. How many 8s do I need so that I could fit them into this 9? I need 1 8, right? I go ahead and write my 1 at the top, then I need to multiply it. So 8 times 1 gives me 8. So I bring my 8 down, I write my 8 down, then I subtract it, and I'm left with 1, right? Then I go ahead and bring my 6 down. Remember, we have to divide each of these numbers, ones, tens, hundreds. I bring my 6 down and I say my 8 times table. 8 times 1 gives me 8. 8 times 2 gives me 16. So I know I need 2 8s. So I go ahead and I write my 2 at the top. And again, I multiply. 8 times 2 gives me 16. I subtract. I'm left with 0. Then I have to bring, even though it's a 0, I still have to divide it, right? Still have to bring it down. But I know that I can't do anything with it. It's just a 0, right? So whenever we bring a number down, remember, and we can't do anything with it, we have to put a 0 at the top. So if I had 960 cookies and I had 8 children, each kid would get 120 cookies, and I will have nothing left. So that means my remainder is 0, and my quotient is 120. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do one question out of page 115. So now I'm looking at your workbook, and I'm looking at exercise 40. So 115. And I'm gonna do the last question right over here. So I'll do that. Okay, so we are looking at 43 divided by 8. I say my 8 times table. So 8 times 1 gives me 8. 8 times 2 gives me 16. 8 times 3 gives me 24. 8 times 4 gives me 32. And 8 times 5 gives me 40. 8 times 6 would give me 48. Do I need a 48? Do I need anything bigger than 43? The answer to both of these questions is no. I should stop at 8 times 5. 8 times 5 gives me 8 times 5 gives me 40. I go ahead and subtract. I'm left with 0 here. and I'm left with 3 here, right? So what's my remainder? 3. And what's my quotient? 5. And I'm done my question. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's do one more question. And I'm gonna choose 748. So from next page, page 116, I'm gonna choose this one. So it's also last one, number, so it's C, letter C. So 748 divided by 8. So let's go ahead and do this one. 748 divided by 8. Okay, so I ask myself, is this 7 big enough for me to divide by 8? It's not. So I'm gonna combine 7 and 4 and it becomes a 72. Sorry, 74. Then I say my 8 times table, and I know 8 times 9 would give me 72, because 8 times 10 would give me 80. That's too big. I need something smaller than 74, right? And there is no 74 in 8 times table. The closest is 72. How many 8s would give me 72? I need 9 8s. So I write my 9 at the top. Then I have to go back and multiply. 8 times 9 gives me 72. Then I subtract, left with 0 here, and I'm left with 2 here, right? Then I bring my 8 down. Now I have to go back to my 8 times table. I'm going to put an arrow so we know we brought it down. Now I need to go back to my 8 times table, and I ask myself, well, how many 8s can fit into this 28? Or how many 8s do I need to make this 28? We cannot have anything bigger. We cannot have something too small. We need right about exact, right? So we say our 8 times table. 8 times 1 gives us 8. 8 times 2 gives us 16. 8 times 3 gives us 24. 8 times 4 gives us 32. Stop yourself. We don't need anything bigger than 28, and 32 is big, too big. So we do not need 4 8s, we need 3 8s. So we write 3, and we go back. 8 times 3 gives us 24. We subtract, left with 4 here, left with nothing here. So what's my remainder? My remainder is 4, and my quotient is 93. Okay, so that is how we would do these questions, and I wish you all the very best. And I hope that you have been successful in completing your work, and I absolutely can't wait to see you in class on Monday.